We have been privileged to bear witness to a number of legendary playoff runs by various immortals throughout the history of the NBA. I recently outlined the reasons as to why Kobe Bryant had the best one we have ever seen during the 2008 through 2010 NBA seasons. And Kobe Bryant has been subject to some of the most pathetic and disgusting lies in NBA history, such as he was carried by Shaq to 3 finals, or he was an inefficient, team-destroying ball hog. These narratives, for whatever reason, continue to rise with more prevalence in various social media forums, but were originally fueled by the malicious fake news media in a desperate attempt to destroy Kobe Bryant's legacy. We saw it while he was actually playing, as he was robbed of various MVP awards, all for the glorification of the media darling self-proclaimed king. As throughout NBA history, there have been 6 players to finish top 5 in season-end MVP voting 10 times or more. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had the most such seasons with 15. LeBron James has done it 14 times. Bill Russell did it 11 times. Michael Jordan had 10, and Wilt Chamberlain had 10. Oh yes, and Kobe Bryant did it 11 times, while Kareem, LeBron, Russell, Jordan, and Chamberlain all won the award at least 4 times each. Kobe Bryant was given only 1. For some additional context, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson were each given 3 MVPs of their 9 top 5 finishes, and Moses Malone won the award 3 times of his 5 top 5 finishes. Steph Curry, meanwhile, won the award 2 times in his 4 top 5 finishes, and Steve Nash won 2 league MVPs of his mere 3 top 5 finishes. One of those years, by the way, was arguably the greatest scoring season ever put forth by one Kobe Bryant, while he was also named All-NBA Defense First Team. The fact the media hated Kobe Bryant and systematically tried to destroy his legacy is not speculation. It's not an opinion. It is an absolute and undeniable truth. The hatred and belittling tactics deployed by the media throughout Kobe's career fuel further fire to the lies percolating around Kobe to this day, including the narrative around that 2008 through 2010 finals run by Bryant. Kobe has been painted to have some kind of super team during those runs, despite having only one other All-Star on the roster and being the only NBA player ever to win consecutive championships without a top 75 all-time player. Yes, he's the only one, and he did it in the deepest, most difficult conference ever. Not only was his conference the best ever, there was also an alleged super team out east with 3 Hall of Famers and 3 top 75 players on it, the Boston Celtics. A team that eliminated LeBron James in the playoffs during the 2008 and 2010 seasons, the loss in 2010 of which forced him to destroy the competitive balance of the NBA for what would become nearly a decade, when he slithered his way from Cleveland to South Beach.
In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach.
Because, of course, he didn't have enough help. While LeBron gets routine passes for his cowardly super team building move, Kobe's unprecedented playoff run is actually somehow discredited because of his 2010 finals performance against those Boston Celtics. A series many claim Kobe didn't even deserve the finals MVP in, and he got rescued by Ron Artest, aka Meta World Peace, and Pau Gasol. But as with most things in sports, this requires the proper context. and the media's love affair with their anointed chosen one and self-proclaimed king had already graduated to full-blown obsession, as they had just given LeBron his second consecutive league MVP award in the 2010 NBA year. And LeBron did have the best record in the NBA that year and home court advantage when they came up against the Celtics team in the Eastern Conference semifinals. And the Cavs were up 2-1 in this series when LeBron James absolutely fell apart in one of the most stunning choke jobs of his entire career. In Game 4, 5, and 6, James scored just 21 points per game on 34% shooting from the field, while posting a -37, and the Cavaliers went from a 2-1 lead to not winning a single game the rest of the series. But again, LeBron just didn't have enough help. Oh, and also teammate Delonte West and LeBron's mom Gloria may or may not have been getting nice. But let's focus on the not enough help part of this. In this series, LeBron James averaged nearly 27 points per game, while the other top 3 scorers on his team in that series were 27-year-old Mo Williams, coming off of an All-Star appearance 1 year earlier, 33-year-old Antoine Jamison, who in his previous 5 NBA seasons averaged 21 points per game and 9 rebounds while making 2 All-Star appearances, and in fact was averaging 21 points and 9 rebounds per game that season when he was traded to Cleveland. And 37-year-old Shaquille O'Neal, who had made his 15th All-Star appearance 1 season earlier. These 3 players, with an average age of 32 years old with a combined 18 career All-Star appearances, who in this series against Boston combined to score 39 points per game on 45% shooting from the field. In the NBA Finals this year between LA and Boston, a 7-game defensive war, Kobe Bryant averaged just under 29 points per game, while his other top 3 scorers were 29-year-old Pau Gasol, who made an All-Star team 6 total times in his career, 30-year-old Ron Artest, aka Meta World Peace, who made 1 career All-Star appearance 7 years before this series in the 2003-2004 season, and 35-year-old Derek Fisher, who never made an All-Star team in his 20-year NBA career. These 3 players, with an average age of 31, with a combined 7 career All-Star appearances, who in this series against Boston combined to score 38 points per game on 42.5% shooting. So LeBron actually had more help than Kobe Bryant. At the very least, a very comparable amount of support. To lose in 6 games, a series he had a 2-1 lead in before dropping the last 3 consecutive games. Kobe Bryant won this series, a series his team trailed 3-2 in and needed to win the last 2 games. A series in which his team, the Lakers, averaged 90 points per game in. Kobe averaged 29, nearly a third of his team's scoring. And yes, many will point to the Game 7 where Bryant shot 6 of 24. He also scored 23 points in a game that he won with a final score of 83-79. The Lakers shot just 32.5% as a team for that game. The Celtics scored only 79 points. Breaking news: no one shot the ball well. They actually played defense back then, kids. But Kobe Bryant, in typical Kobe Bryant fashion, found a way to win because he was a winner. He led both teams in scoring for that Game 7. He led both teams in fourth quarter points for that Game 7. For the series, Bryant averaged 29 points per game, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals in a series that, again, his team scored just 90 per game in. Kobe outscored all players in this series on both teams by at least 10 points, a feat LeBron James has equaled only one time in his 10 career finals appearances, which was the 2014 series against the San Antonio Spurs that he got absolutely smoked in, losing 4-1 in the most lopsided finals in NBA history in terms of total point differential. Kobe equaled this same feat just the year earlier when he beat the Orlando Magic in the finals, and he is the only player in NBA history to outscore all other players by at least 10 points per game for an entire final series multiple times in their career, other than, you guessed it, Michael Jordan, who did it 3 times from 1991 to 1993. This series should be talked about as one of the greatest final series ever played, culminating the greatest playoff run in NBA history. Yet instead, it is painted in a negative light, while LeBron choking and vomiting all over himself in those same playoffs against that same team as the league MVP, with similar supporting casts, is routinely excused. Yes, the media gave LeBron more accolades. Yes, LeBron has padded stats in a vastly different system than Kobe played in, and in an increasingly easy league with each passing season since 2016. But as always, if you really care to look closely, you'll find the easy answer as to who the true king of this century of the 2000s really was.